Hello everybody, my name is HeroicLegend. Pardon. I'm here to you. I'm here today to play a personal favorite of mine for you guys. For anyone who's wondering, I will be continuing, Pokemon. It's just, for the moment, I'm still working out a lot of the kinks with the new editing software and such, and recording. So until I can get that properly figured out, because Pokemon has been kind of hard to edit with the old stuff even, I want to make sure everything is synced up properly and such. So in time I'll continue it. Don't worry. But in the meantime, I'd love to play this game for you, Dark Souls. It's one of my more favorite games. I've beaten it numerous times, both on PlayStation 3 and the PC. It's kind of gonna be a bit of a walkthrough in a sense. I've played this game a lot. Uh, it has to be one of my top picks. Like if I were to give a top picks for any year, Dark Souls would probably be at the top because it's been my personal favorite. I'm gonna be quiet for the cutscenes though.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone scales. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
Alrighty then, now that I know that cutscene's over, Yeah, as I was saying, this game is absolutely one of my favorites, one of my top favorites. I've loved this game. I remember in the PlayStation version, I actually strived to get 100% of all the items. Oh, I don't care anymore. You spoke already. For those of you who really wanted to see, Guy drops down this right here. Um, yeah, so I can get free. Now, I normally rush through this area. I guess I won't do it for you guys. Basic combat. I'm using a 360 controller, so for me, it's right bumper. Of course, if I had something in my left hand, it'd be left bumper. I think it's, yeah, right trigger for heavy attack, left trigger for parry. Hold down B to run, to dash, run. Press B to roll around, which is what we'll be doing constantly. Select to open up this, which will be a main part of what I'll be doing. But yeah, man, look at that wiggle. Anyway, this game, I can't even begin to speak highly of it. I've loved this game for so long. It was a game that kicked my ass, admittedly. Like, if there were ever a game that came along and kicked my ass, this is the game. This is the game that did it. But just something about it was just so perfect. Wait a minute, I want to. Yep. If you look up there, he's not gonna stay up there for long. So I'm just gonna casually, skirt around, skirt around. Hello and goodbye. A mistake I've seen some people do is they'll actually stay and fight him there. It is possible. I'm not going to deny that. I've seen players. Oh my god, that's the good players I've seen. Compared to all the bad ones. So, like, I've been really surprised. There is one way you can actually beat him early on, and that's if you saw the load up screen, well, the character creation screen. In gifts, you could pick the black bomb. It's not recommended, though. I of course wouldn't recommend it being, I guess you say, a vet of this game. You know, there's probably still a lot of things I could learn. But yeah, if you were to go for the black bombs, I recommend Thief be your character. I remember I tried out Thief. It's not horrible. It does kind of muck up your build, and as you can see, I am currently a pyromancer. Pyromancy being probably one of the better magics if you're gonna do a playthrough, or if you're starting out. You know, you start at level 1, you get to customize your build entirely. You could go full pyromancer, you could go any type of build really. If I go, yeah, stats. So, as you can see, we have pretty, I guess, standard stats you could call them. Faith and intelligence being the ones you're not gonna have to pay attention to. Dexterity, strength, endurance, attunement, vitality, all that good stuff. Anyway, again, I know this game well, so this opening area is not going to be difficult for me. Or it might. I never know. I haven't really picked up my Dark Souls controller in a while. I got excited for Dark Souls 2, because I heard it's going to be even tougher than this, and I'm like, oh, the challenge. Sorry I'm skipping this. Like, I really want to get to the action. That's how much I love this game. Now, if I remember correctly, well, first of all, let's go open this up for just in case there is a reason I fail. Always want to have your shortcuts on hand. I think X is to use an item. I can't tell. I'll tell you if we'll figure it out if I get hit. Anyway, I'm going to teach you a lot of the basics, kinda. Because this is more of a walkthrough for my way of playing it than it is a let's play. I will, of course, be commentating and trying to be oh, I didn't get the... Did he not give me the key? Nope, he didn't give me the key. Well, that's a first. Apparently, if you don't talk to him properly, he doesn't give you the key. Weird. Anyway... I'm not going to spoil too much, because I do like this being a surprise. I will say this now. Stop. If you have not played Dark Souls, if you were thinking about, I want to get into Dark Souls, stop now, unless you want to play along with me, in which case, prepare to die, buddy. Prepare to die. Alright, now as you can see right there, everyone, we have gotten possibly the best equipment, in my personal opinion. The Pyromancer's Flame. Now, unlike all other magics, the Pyromancer's Flame does not require a stat to be leveled up. Oh, hello there, sir. You're interrupting me, so I'm going to have to backstab you. I missed. So just hold still, and this is a backstab. I know it doesn't look like a backstab because I'm using an axe, but every weapon has a backstab and a parry. I'll try to show off the parry now. Give me a sec. Oh, I'm terrible at parrying sometimes. It requires proper timing, but it always delivers devastating results. If you learn how to parry and backstab in PvP, which is, by the way, non-consensual, so sorry for those of you who are new, and for those of you who have also suffered as I have, if you learn how to do that, you'll be ahead of the game 100%. I will not even lie. I can't count the times where I've gotten off a successful parry or backstab because people are just rushing at me. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. And back. Stab. Think he's still alive. Oh, I missed. Very important, though. Something that a lot of people don't know. If you pick a character that has a weapon that kind of looks like this, or that's classified as an axe or a club, I'm going to show you guys something. You see how it took maybe a little longer for me to recover from that? That's because axes and the sort have a bit of a swing issue. It's more of a how can I explain this? Basically, it takes more handling to keep your axe still. More handling, obviously. So I'm going to go through here, and I think I'll end it as soon as I beat the boss, because I don't want to spoil too much. So here we have the boss, which we're going to want to do is a plunging attack here. Will always do a lot of damage, but I think it does a little bit more depending on the characters. Now, this is why if you have the black bombs, you would do fine against this boss, because it takes a lot of damage to fire. Of course, you can beat it with your weapon. It's not to say, you know, give up all hope if you didn't go Pyromancer or the Black Bomb. Skillful people, I believe the Thief has it best with a bleed weapon, because the bleed will stack. And it is really easier for that. Now, as you can see, this whole area opens up. There is a surprise around this area. I'll show you guys when I'm stronger, and I'll come back here. But yeah. So use the Big Pilgrim's Key. Why was he a big pilgrim? And now, technically this is where the game begins. This is where you prepare to die. Sorry, I'm trying to sound cool for you guys. Little cutscene. I always like this part.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
Fun fact, you can hit that crow. I'll show you what I mean later. But you wouldn't want to hit him. He's awesome. I'm gonna give him a nickname. I can't think of a good birdie nickname. Damn it, it's like my Pokemon LP all over again. I think it's Crow. Might be a Raven. I like ravens. I like the name Raven. Ravens seem pretty cool too, but crows are badass. If you guys have seen League of Legends, you know why crows are badass. Now, here is kind of the hub world area-ish. Technically, every bonfire is your hub. It's your base, basically. You're at a bonfire, it's your base. Now, I played the game I feel like I played the game entirely different compared to how some other people play it. My way is entirely weird. Of course, if you want to avoid any future problems, or if you just want to speed through the game, or you're very confident in your skills, you can die quickly, go back to the asylum. Okay, I get it. Damn. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stay here. For the LP, I'm not going to change up much of my style. However, though, I will say one thing, my style has changed quite a bit. Thanks to people like Northern Lion, PewDiePie, a lot of the Dark Souls community itself for helping me out. I have developed a very unique playstyle. I'd like to say. If other people have done it, feel free. In the comments, if you've done this path too, or maybe you've talked to me and you've heard about my pathway, you'll see what I mean. But basically, we're going to go collect all the items around the area. I guess I'll end the episode here, maybe. It depends. I'm really giddy about playing it. I was actually having some issues playing Dark Souls because of, well, Games for Windows Live. Anyone really sad that it's going? I'm mortified. You shouldn't hear that. I snickered. This, actually, me and my brother didn't find out until Northern Lion showed us. Yeah, this was not a dark chasm of the abyss and instant death. No, it was actually a shortcut, which is a much easier way to get to these. This is probably the best thing ever. You'll see why I say worst. So, cracked red eye orbs. I'm going to explain those in a minute because, thankfully, thanks to these, I get to show you guys. Oh, and a talisman, so I get to explain a lot, actually. Homeward Bone, I'm actually going to use that because, this area over here is a newbie's trap. It is 100% a newbie's trap. If you ever play Dark Souls and you head there first, well, as you can see, those bloodstains, yeah, again, I will tell you this, prepare to die. Now, Homeward Bound Bones are probably going to be a big staple of my Let's Play. Because I will tell you right now, I absolutely hate risking going back to the bonfire. Alright, now let's do a rundown. So for my items, well, first of all, as you can see, I have the Master Key. The Master Key is one of the most vital items. I was going to say key items, and then horrible pun alert. The Master Key, however, assures you that any area that has could possibly have doesn't have a required key, it's an optional key, is replaced by the Master Key. You can open a number of things. I can probably find a list for you guys. This is a magic area. You can see I only have one magic right now, Fireball, for Pyromancy. I'll get into magics after I go through the rundown. I have a few weapons here. This shield, I will explain why it's crap, but also, you have things like the sword hilt, which is broken, obviously, and the cracked round shield, again, a broken thing. But all these are important, even the shield. The Morning Star here, if we look into it, you see that it has stats and everything. In the auxiliary effects, I'm pointing to it right now in real life, I don't know why. But the auxiliary effects are basically what type of effects it would have if it has any at all. So the Morning Star itself has bleed on it. Poison, wow. And it gets, depending on how much your strength is, it gets a little bit of a bonus. Obviously, after you reach the required strength, which is in the REQ param. Durability is also a very big factor. Things can lose a lot of durability depending. If you rely on the weapon a lot, obviously the durability will go down. If you keep bouncing off of a shield, I believe, it'll go down. So you gotta be very careful. Damn it. And to get into things, I'll go into the shield first and then I'll explain. Now, as you can see, the shield, it has its own stats, just in case you were to ever equip it in your main hand. I don't think it really does anything. Required strength, etc., etc. However, in damage reduction, you can see in physical, it says 65. That's bad, very bad if you want to go for a good shield, because you're going to need 100 to block full damage. Granted, you know, for magic and for lightning, it's okay. There are better shields. But if you want something that will protect you in solo play, you're going to need 100% on physical reduction. Otherwise, you're going to get, like, destroyed by the monsters themselves. Again, unless you know how to parry or you know how to backstab, in which case you'll be fine. But it's a very big cautious thing. And of course we have weight. Weight is very important in this game, because if you want to roll around or you want to be dodgy, you can't. You absolutely can't weigh yourself down. I've seen countless people fall, myself included, because they have too much weight to them. And it's very sad too, because some of these people look like they would pose a great threat to the assholes of the community. And I say assholes not as in, oh, they've messaged me offline. I mean, no, to be honest, in Dark Souls PvP, everyone's kind of a dick. Myself included. Oh, I can't count the times I've invaded. And again, we'll get into that because I actually have an item. So, before we go into that, we'll go into the magics. As you can see here, I have a Pyromancy's Flame and a Talisman. Again, these have their own stats. With, again, required strength, required whatever. The Talisman, however, is unique because the Talisman works on the faith. And depending on what Talisman you have, your faith magic, I guess you could say your light magic, will work better or worse. It depends on your Talisman and your faith. This is what I mean. The Pyromancy Flame is the only thing that can use Pyromancy. So the more you upgrade it, the better it is, and the more damage your Pyromancy will do. As you can see in Magic Adjust. If you're going for any type of build, if you're going for a faith or an intelligence build, or in certain cases, an intelligence build that uses magic, because there are special items, again, when we find them, we'll get into it. But for now, I'll leave it at that. He says, cutting off his own sentence. Anyway, for faith, you're looking at a lot of light magic, I guess. Not many damaging ones, with again a few exceptions. More things to heal yourself, keep yourself up, and keep enemies away from you, if memory serves me correctly. For intelligence, looking for a lot of kind of damaging spells and such. Again, it depends on what kind of build you're going for, obviously. And I believe attunement, yes, as you can see in the stats over there beneath vitality. Attunement means how many spells you can hold. So if I were to go to change equipment, as you can see, wrong thing. Here in the status. As you can see in the attunement slot, it says I have 2. That means I can only carry 2 magics. But that also means if I carry 2 of the same magic, it won't go it won't do the annoying habit of, oh, you gotta switch out. No, it'll stack. But again, you only have 2 attunement slots, so if you really want to go for blazing pyromancies, that's your deal. As you can see all these good stats again. There's probably someone who may be able to explain this better than me. Again, this is just me telling you guys, because I'm getting very giddy. Now, I'm going to do things from this kind of selection. We have armor. Again, armor in itself has its durability, how much it defends in all categories. Again, just because it defends, though, doesn't mean you're not going to get hurt. You can have the bulkiest armor and this common enemy will still lay into you easy. This game is very difficult. But again, if you do good, if you learn to find a good build that's accustomed to you, that's good for you, you'll be fine. Now then, to get into, I guess, these items. Here we have a number of the items you're going to see yourself switching between a lot of. Right now, it's called Cracked Red Eye Orb, and this is the biggest example of trolliness. The game gives you these early on, if you can find it, which allows you to invade another player's world and kill them if they're human. I will show you I will get into that in a few seconds. I'm sorry. It's a very wordy episode for me. I just want to explain things so you guys know and so you're not lost. Even if you are Dark Souls vet, it's still nice to keep refreshers up. And I'd rather explain a bit to those who are new to the game and maybe want to pick it up for themselves, see, what tricks they can use. Be warned, though, when invading another player's world using the Cracked Red Eye Orb, you are invading up, which means the person you will invade will either be level 1, depending on what your level is over there, above souls, or it could be level 50, it could be level 100 even. I think they set a parameter so you can avoid that, but again, if you're level 1, don't expect to be the Scott child. Unless you beat the game on level 1, in which case you're insane, and congratulations, sir, you are a better man or woman than I. The Black Separation Crystal. Let's say, because this game's PvP and co-op is very unique, you can only choose your co-op, you do not choose your PvP, and it requires humanity. But let's say you have someone with you, you summon for co-op, and they're not being the best, they're being stupid, getting hurt a lot, they're expecting you to heal them. You can just separate yourself from them, or you can use this to return home yourself if you've been summoned. That's all I'll say on the topic for now. Lloyd's Talisman, a personal favorite of mine, prevents Estus recovery within a limited area. Now this goes for both people and monsters, because certain monsters have an Estus flask, as you saw I obtained in the asylum. For the Lord's Talisman, it prevents using it for a limited area, which means if you're in the middle of PvP or if you're in the middle of combat and you see your enemy going to use an Estus, you can toss this at them and it will prevent them from doing so, which will keep them weak and keep them on their toes. However, if you're doing this in PvP, that means you have to be skillful enough to keep them within that limited area. Otherwise, it's pointless, and you just basically lay down a place that they're just going to avoid. Or they'll just take pot shots at you. Homeward Bound Bone, as you guys saw, just takes you back to the last bonfire you rested. Be careful when using this. I have seen my brother use it from time to time. I've used it from time to time the wrong way, and I've ended up back at a bonfire I didn't want to be at. You need to keep track of what bonfire you're at. I can't stress this enough for new players. I have had my worst times by going back to the wrong bonfire and just, like, cursing myself out for it. Okay, there's not much stuff left. So, Soul of Lost and Dead. You use these to basically crack open and take the souls inside to level yourself up, buff up your equipment, or etc. I'll show you a quick little thing about that in a minute. The souls, the amount of souls you get depend on what type of soul you find. So Lost and Dead, obviously not a lot, because it's in the beginning of the game, can't have you getting too OP too soon. For Humanity, this is probably the biggest thing about this game. Humanity is a core gameplay element. If you have Humanity, you can summon help, you can engage in PvP, you can heal yourself if you're in a desperate situation, you can just do a lot with it. And in fact, I'm gonna show you guys something. It's probably not wise of me to do this, but I want to demonstrate for you guys. I want to show you guys, because again, can't really call it a walkthrough if I don't explain some stuff. And finally, for our item, the Dark Sign. The Dark Sign, you lose the humanities and souls you have, but you go back to your bonfire. I honestly don't know why the game even gave you this item. I guess it's a really last resort option. You only use this if you're really stuck. If you're in an area you don't know what to do, you have no homeward bones, you're just screwed. But you use the Dark Sign, it gets rid of your humanity and your souls. Now, what that's basically saying is, if you see in, I believe it's the bottom right corner, the number I have there is souls. Now, the number of souls I have is dependent on a few things. How many things I've killed, how many souls I've cracked, and I'll explain it when it happens. You can lose these. I can't stress this enough. You can lose these. You can lose these by dying. Now, as you can see, there's a clip over here. I'm going to demonstrate to you guys what I mean by you can lose these souls. Geronimo! I'm dead! There's no borders in this game. There's no borders. Every walk you take along a cliff edge is at risk to yourself. You can die, you will die, expect it to happen. So, retrieval. As you can see, when you die, you drop down a blood sign with a kind of green smoke hovering over it. If you don't recover that and you die again, you will lose any souls or humanity, the number next to my health and stamina bar, which is currently 0, and if you're human and you die, you go back to being what is an undead. I'll show you what an undead is by unequipping my helmet. So as you can see, nothing like the guy I created in the beginning. Just he's fleshy, ready. So that's a lot of talking. I'm so sorry if I've talked your ear off about this. Again, I'm really passionate about this game. I really do love this game. It's one of my favorites. So before I end the episode, though, I figure you guys have deserved some comments. So come at me. Where are you swinging, buddy? Oh, apparently in the same place I am, because I missed. Oh. Welcome to the party. This is back. Ooh, Oh. I've never actually seen the animation with the Morning Star. I smashed his ass. Okay, now wait. Big thing? I know what you're thinking. No, I don't. But some of you might be thinking, hey, there's just a lone guy over there. Why isn't Heroic going to up to smash? Oh, that's why. See, there's that asshole. When you get a bow and arrow, he becomes funny. But until you do, he's annoying. He has an endless supply of fire bombs, so he'll just keep throwing at you like a prick. Oh, real quick, this is a bloodstain. You basically get to see how the person who left that bloodstain died. You leave a bloodstain when you die yourself. And let's see. Yeah. If you guys saw that, she fell off the cliff. Again, this game has no borders. So, you fall, it's your fault. And there is a lot of fault damage. So, he will desperately try and let you hug the wall to smash you with his firebombs. Now, these guys are significantly tougher than the ones I've been facing. You saw me fight one. They're mostly... Oh, ow. Again, you can die in this early area. This game is not like, oh, don't worry, lad or lass. It's fine. You can make mistakes early game. No, if you make mistakes early game, you're going to really fuck yourself for later. This game does not treat you like a child. This game says you're going to put on your big boy pants or you're going to suffer. Now, normally, this guy would be a pain in the ass because you'd have to run up to him, but... Oh, hello, sir. You just scared... Oh, God. Please, wait. Mercy rule. Mercy rule. Mercy rule. Mercy rule. I said mercy! Oh, that's some good Estus. Again, if you're good at timing, you can probably block a lot. I don't think you can block a heavy attack. Yep. Did, man. The ragdolls in this game are hilarious, though. Alright, let's try this again. So, mine first. Again, if you have something ranged, if you start off, basically anything that's... well, except for Cleric. I think Cleric's the only one that you can't. A lot of dancing around you're going to see. Again, why with the smacking of the ass? Oh, I need to show you guys the bleed. So, effectively, bleed works like this. And it works against you very well, too. If you attack someone with bleed, you won't see it necessarily, but if you get attacked with bleed, you will see it. Oh, right. Two-handing. Let me finish bleed first. I believe it's every 3 hits or so. I know for a certain weapon it is 3 hits. Every 3 hits, you basically, like... Yes. Every few hits or so, you have there's a possibility, depending on your opponent, that you will inflict bleed on them. Bleed takes a chunk out of their life. And it's very useful. So, here we have a couple of chuckleheads. I'm trying to be funny, I'm sorry. But here we have a couple of guys. I'm gonna smash them. Now, that is the one forgiving part of this game. If you're caught attacking someone in that animation, you're basically immune to damage. So, when in PvP, remember this. Hello, sir. I don't trust you. So I'm gonna just throw fire at you. I missed. Shit! Ow. Oh, shit! Please, please, don't kill me. I'm a Let's Player. Son of a bitch, are you serious? Welcome to Dark Souls. Prepare to die. I'm gonna get my life back off screen, but here's where the episode's ending. Yes, I panicked, and I almost screamed like a girl. Till next time, everyone.